Floyd Mayweather built one of the greatest financial empires in boxing history. He proudly called himself money, surrounded himself with luxury, flashed stacks of cash, and convinced the world that he was untouchable. For years, fans believed there was no athlete richer, smarter, or more successful when it came to making money. But today, that image is facing its biggest challenge yet. Behind the private jets, expensive jewelry, luxury cars, and social media posts, a massive financial and legal storm has begun to unfold. Mounting debts, multiple lawsuits, unpaid taxes, and growing pressure from creditors are raising serious questions about whether the undefeated champion is now fighting the toughest battle of his life. Some believe these are only temporary setbacks. Others believe they are signs of a much deeper financial crisis. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: Floyd Mayweather is now facing problems that money alone may not easily solve. In this video, we're going to break down every major development step by step, revealing how one of the richest athletes in sports history found himself surrounded by legal trouble from every direction. Stay until the end, because the final details may completely change the way you look at Floyd Mayweather's financial empire. Reports released on April 9, 2026, sent shockwaves through the boxing world. According to public records, the Internal Revenue Service filed a $7.3 million federal tax lien against Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas over unpaid taxes connected to the 2018 and 2023 tax years. This wasn't simply a reminder or another warning letter. A federal tax lien is one of the strongest legal tools available to the government. It establishes a legal claim against nearly everything a taxpayer owns until the debt is resolved. The lien was officially recorded in Las Vegas, where Mayweather owned several valuable properties. Public filings showed that the balance remained unpaid as of March 26, while Mayweather's attorney declined to make any public comment regarding the matter. For many people, a tax lien is extremely serious. It gives the government legal rights over real estate, bank accounts, investments, personal property, and other financial assets. If the situation continues to escalate, authorities may eventually begin seizing assets in order to recover the unpaid taxes. That possibility has left many fans asking one simple question: how could Floyd Mayweather, a man who reportedly earned more than $1.1 billion during his legendary boxing career, find himself dealing with another major IRS dispute? The answer is surprisingly simple. This isn't the first time. In fact, Floyd Mayweather has been battling tax problems for years. Following his record-breaking fight against Manny Pacquiao in 2015, where he reportedly earned around $250 million from a single event, Mayweather still ended up owing the IRS approximately $22.2 million in unpaid taxes. When the government demanded payment in 2017, Mayweather's legal team explained that although he possessed enormous wealth, much of it was tied up in investments and other illiquid assets. They assured the IRS that the debt would be paid after a major liquidity event expected within 60 days. That event turned out to be his blockbuster fight against Conor McGregor. In simple terms, Mayweather promised the IRS that once the McGregor payday arrived, the tax bill would be paid. At that time, he eventually settled the obligation. However, the story didn't end there. In 2023, a United States tax court judge ordered Mayweather to pay approximately $5.5 million in additional tax deficiencies, along with another $1.1 million in penalties related to his 2017 taxes. Ironically, those were taxes connected to the same McGregor fight that had supposedly resolved his previous financial issues. Now, only a few years later, another $7.3 million federal tax lien has surfaced. Since the newest lien covers completely different tax years, many financial analysts believe this is no longer an isolated incident. Instead, they see a pattern. Mayweather earns enormous amounts of money. Tax problems appear. The IRS steps in. Payments are eventually made. Then another dispute emerges. Whether that's the result of financial management, accounting complications, or something else entirely remains unclear, but the cycle appears to be repeating itself once again. And the IRS isn't the only party demanding money from Floyd Mayweather. While tax authorities were pursuing millions in unpaid taxes, lawsuits from several other businesses were already beginning to pile up. Surprisingly, these lawsuits didn't come from rival boxers or competing promoters. They came from landlords, luxury jewelers, and even a private jet company. One of the biggest legal disputes involves an ultra-luxury apartment in Manhattan. During late 2024, Mayweather reportedly signed a lease for an enormous duplex inside the Baccarat Hotel and Residences, one of New York City's most prestigious luxury buildings. The apartment occupied both the 18th and 19th floors. Its monthly rent? An astonishing $100,000 every single month. According to a lawsuit filed in state court, rent payments eventually stopped. The property owner sought approximately $337,736, representing unpaid rent, late fees, and other charges after accounting for deposits and partial payments. Property owner Layla Sentner later revealed that she personally spoke with Mayweather after months of missed payments. According to her, Floyd appeared genuinely surprised by the amount that had accumulated. She claimed he had no idea he was so far behind. That statement immediately sparked debate across social media. Was Mayweather simply too wealthy to notice $500,000 in unpaid rent? Or was it evidence that something much more serious was happening behind the scenes? Then came another expensive legal battle. This time involving luxury watches and jewelry. AJ's Jewelry filed a lawsuit claiming Mayweather owed more than $1 million for high-end watches and gold chains. According to court filings, Mayweather allegedly visited the store twice during August and left with 26 luxury watches from prestigious brands including Cartier, Patek Philippe, Rolex, and Audemars Piguet, along with 15 gold chains. The total purchase reportedly exceeded $1.6 million. Although Mayweather allegedly paid $300,000, the remaining balance was never fully settled. Even more damaging, the lawsuit claims that 5 separate checks issued by Mayweather bounced. 5 bounced checks. From the man famously known around the world as Money. But the legal problems didn't stop there. Another Miami jeweler, Leonard Sulmanoff, also filed a lawsuit accusing Mayweather and business associate Jonah Rechnitz of violating a previous settlement agreement involving nearly $3.9 million worth of watches and jewelry. Combined, the 2 jewelry disputes alone involve well over $5 million in luxury purchases. And then there's the private jet lawsuit. Mayweather is also facing legal action over an unpaid $15,690 private jet charter for a trip to the Turks and Caicos. The lawsuit, filed in Los Angeles County, names Mayweather, Jonah Rechnitz, and several additional defendants. According to the complaint, Rechnitz allegedly knew that Mayweather had developed a pattern of accepting expensive goods and services without making timely payments. That is an extremely serious allegation. It goes far beyond one unpaid invoice. It suggests a recurring pattern of financial disputes involving luxury purchases and premium services. Whether those allegations can ultimately be proven in court remains to be seen. However, when viewed alongside the IRS lien, unpaid rent, jewelry lawsuits, bounced checks, and jet charter dispute, they paint a picture that is dramatically different from the image Floyd Mayweather has spent years building. Perhaps the most surprising part of this entire story is that while lawsuits continued to grow and creditors demanded payment, Mayweather's social media remained filled with photos of expensive cars, luxury vacations, designer watches, private jets, and mountains of cash. To many fans, the contrast was impossible to ignore. Was Floyd Mayweather still living the billionaire lifestyle he always promoted? Or was he simply trying to protect the image of Money Mayweather while serious financial problems continued to grow behind closed doors? Even as lawsuits continued to pile up, Floyd Mayweather's Instagram painted a completely different picture. His social media remained filled with photos and videos of private jets, luxury vacations, designer watches, exotic cars, and stacks of cash spread across tables. To millions of followers, it looked like nothing had changed. But inside courtrooms across the country, a very different story was beginning to emerge. The gap between the image Mayweather projected online and the financial reality described in legal documents appeared to grow wider with every passing month. And when you look at the assets he has reportedly been forced to sell, the situation becomes even more concerning. If the lawsuits were the smoke, then the sale of valuable assets may be the fire. According to multiple reports, Mayweather sold his famous Gulfstream private jet in late 2025. This wasn't just another aircraft. It was Air Mayweather, the jet that became one of the biggest symbols of his luxury lifestyle and the Money Mayweather brand. Fans had seen it countless times on social media. Now, it was reportedly gone. The sales didn't stop there. His Beverly Hills mansion was reportedly sold. His luxury Miami mansion was reportedly sold as well. Those properties represented some of the most recognizable pieces of Mayweather's real estate portfolio, yet both were reportedly put on the market as part of his efforts to generate cash. Reports also claimed that Mayweather faced foreclosure issues involving 2 commercial properties. Even more alarming, one of his best-known businesses, his Las Vegas strip club, the Girl Collection, was reportedly at risk because of unpaid property taxes. According to public reports, approximately $52,000 in delinquent taxes threatened the property. For most people, $52,000 is an enormous amount of money. For a man who once reportedly earned nearly $300 million from a single fight, the number seems surprisingly small. That contrast has fueled even more speculation. Business Insider also reported that several remaining assets, including residential properties and his Las Vegas strip club, had reportedly been pledged as collateral for loans provided by financier Don Hankey. That detail is significant. Selling assets is one thing. Borrowing against the as an unpaid rent, people naturally begin asking difficult questions. Despite all of this, Mayweather has repeatedly denied facing any financial crisis. His attorney has maintained that the boxing legend is not struggling financially. Meanwhile, Mayweather continues sharing videos of expensive vacations, luxury shopping trips, private flights, and stacks of cash with millions of followers. That creates a contradiction that is difficult to ignore. On one side, there are court filings describing unpaid debts, legal disputes, tax problems, and property issues. On the other side, there is a public image suggesting unlimited wealth and financial freedom. So what is Floyd Mayweather actually worth today? That question has become surprisingly difficult to answer. Throughout his legendary career, Mayweather reportedly generated more than $1.1 billion in total earnings. At one point, Celebrity Net Worth estimated his fortune at roughly $500 million. More recent estimates place that figure closer to $100 million, although even those estimates come with significant uncertainty. Nobody outside Mayweather's financial team truly knows how much he currently owns, how much he owes, or how much of his wealth remains tied up in businesses, investments, and real estate. Which leads to perhaps the biggest question of all. If Floyd Mayweather earned over $1 billion, where did the money go? According to Mayweather himself, a large portion of it was stolen. In February 2026, Mayweather shocked the boxing world by filing a $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Sports and former Showtime Sports president Stephen Espinoza. The lawsuit alleges that Mayweather is owed at least $340 million and accuses the defendants of participating in a sophisticated financial scheme involving hidden accounts, unauthorized transactions, and the concealment of important financial records. At the center of those allegations is Mayweather's longtime advisor and manager, Ul Heyman. According to the lawsuit, Heyman first began managing Mayweather's career around 2004 under a verbal agreement that entitled him to a 10% management fee. Although that original agreement reportedly expired after 1 year, Heyman continued managing nearly every aspect of Mayweather's business for almost 2 decades. He reportedly handled television contracts, fight negotiations, sponsorship deals, business investments, and many of the financial decisions surrounding Mayweather's career. In 2013, Mayweather signed what was then considered one of the richest contracts ever awarded to an individual athlete, a 30-month, 6-fight agreement with Showtime Sports. During that partnership, Mayweather headlined 8 pay-per-view events that reportedly generated roughly 15 million buys and more than $1 billion in total revenue. The biggest event, of course, was his historic fight against Manny Pacquiao. That event remains one of the highest-grossing pay-per-views in boxing history, producing more than 4.4 million purchases and approximately $410 million in revenue. Mayweather reportedly earned around $250 million from that single fight alone. However, according to the lawsuit, Mayweather believes a significant portion of those earnings never actually reached him. Court filings claim that banking records reveal tens of millions of dollars being transferred into companies allegedly controlled by Heyman. Some of those transfers were reportedly labeled as loan repayments or reimbursements. Other transactions were reportedly listed only as expenses without detailed explanations. The lawsuit further alleges that Mayweather was shown only selected financial records while other documents were withheld. It also claims that at least one contract date was altered, allegedly making it more difficult for Mayweather to understand exactly when agreements had been executed. One of the most interesting aspects of the lawsuit is who wasn't named as a defendant. Although Al Heyman is described throughout the complaint as the architect of the alleged financial scheme, the lawsuit primarily targets Showtime Sports and former executive Steven Espinoza. That decision immediately raised questions throughout the boxing industry. Why sue the television network first? According to veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael, sources familiar with the case suggested that a separate lawsuit against Heyman could eventually follow. Some legal experts believe Mayweather's attorneys may first be attempting to obtain financial records through the legal discovery process before pursuing additional defendants. Steven Espinoza has firmly denied the accusations. He stated that he has always acted with integrity and has never done anything to prevent a fighter from receiving every dollar they earned. Meanwhile, Paramount, Showtime's parent company, dismissed the lawsuit entirely, describing the allegations as baseless and unsupported by the facts. So now two completely different stories exist. Mayweather claims that $340 million disappeared through a decades-long fraudulent scheme. Showtime insists the accusations have no merit. And Al Heyman, the man at the center of nearly every allegation, has remained publicly silent. If Mayweather's claims eventually prove to be true, they could explain many of the financial questions surrounding his current situation. But lawsuits of this size rarely move quickly. Discovery can take months. Trials can take years. The courts will eventually decide what really happened. Unfortunately for Mayweather, his current creditors aren't waiting. The IRS isn't waiting. Landlords aren't waiting. Jewelry companies aren't waiting. Which may explain why Floyd Mayweather is once again preparing to make money in the only way he has always known best. By stepping back into the ring. Mayweather officially retired from professional boxing in 2017 with a perfect 50-0 record after stopping Conor McGregor. Since then, retirement has looked anything but permanent. He has participated in a series of lucrative exhibition bouts against opponents including Tenshin Nasukawa, Logan Paul, John Gotti III, and several other high-profile names. Those exhibitions generated enormous attention and reportedly earned millions of dollars without affecting his professional record. But compared to what may be coming next, those appearances could simply be the beginning. At 49 years old, Mayweather is reportedly preparing for another massive comeback tour. Reports suggest he is scheduled to face Mike Tyson in a blockbuster exhibition event before returning later this year for a highly anticipated professional rematch against his longtime rival, Manny Pacquiao. The Pacquiao rematch is expected to be the biggest event of them all. Current reports indicate that the fight is planned for September 19, 2026, at the Spectacular Sphere in Las Vegas, with streaming expected on Netflix. If finalized, the event could generate another nine-figure payday, exactly the kind of financial boost that could help Mayweather address the growing legal and financial challenges surrounding his empire. But one question still remains. The upcoming Pacquiao rematch is expected to be the fight that could erase Mayweather's financial problems in a single night, just as the Conor McGregor fight reportedly helped him settle previous tax obligations. But there is one major obstacle. The rematch itself has already become surrounded by controversy. According to Manny Pacquiao's camp, Floyd Mayweather accepted advance payments for the fight before later attempting to change the agreement from a fully sanctioned professional bout into an exhibition contest. Pacquiao's representatives claimed that such a move would violate the original agreement. Promotion CEO Sean Gibbons publicly stated that Mayweather had officially breached the contract. According to Pacquiao's team, they possess both digital and physical documents bearing signatures connected directly to Mayweather that support their position. The promotion also claims that Mayweather accepted advance payments for the event and even secured financing against the fight before attempting to renegotiate the terms. If those allegations are accurate, they raise serious questions. Think about what that would mean. A fighter allegedly accepting money in advance, taking loans against a future event, then attempting to change the conditions of the agreement before the fight even takes place. Those are not the kinds of accusations usually associated with someone believed to be sitting comfortably on hundreds of millions of dollars in available cash. Instead, critics argue that it suggests an urgent need for liquidity. Of course, these remain allegations, and Mayweather has not publicly accepted those claims. As with every legal dispute, the final outcome will depend on evidence presented by both sides. The controversy doesn't end there. Even Logan Paul has entered the financial conversation. The YouTuber-turned-boxer has publicly claimed that Mayweather still owes him approximately $1.5 million connected to their 2021 exhibition bout. Mayweather has not accepted that allegation, but it has added yet another layer to the growing list of financial disputes surrounding the boxing legend. Meanwhile, reports indicate that Mayweather continues scheduling exhibition fights around the world, including events in Africa and Europe against well-known opponents. These exhibitions have historically generated enormous revenue, often producing purses worth tens of millions of dollars. For years, this strategy has worked remarkably well. Fight. Get paid. Clear outstanding obligations. Return to social media showcasing luxury cars, private jets, expensive jewelry, and stacks of cash. Repeat. It worked after the original Pacquiao fight. It worked after the Conor McGregor super fight. The real question is whether it can work one more time. The answer isn't as simple as it once was. Back in 2015 and 2017, Mayweather still controlled a massive portfolio of luxury assets. He owned multiple mansions. He had his famous Air Mayweather private jet. He possessed significant financial flexibility and bargaining power. Today, the picture appears very different. Several major properties have reportedly been sold. The private jet has reportedly been sold. Other assets have reportedly been pledged as collateral. And now the IRS has filed another federal tax lien, creating legal claims against whatever qualifying assets remain. At the same time, the Pacquiao rematch faces uncertainty because of the ongoing contract dispute. The $340 million lawsuit against Showtime could potentially take years before reaching any final resolution. Even if Mayweather eventually wins the case, any financial recovery would almost certainly not arrive overnight. Meanwhile, tax authorities, creditors, landlords, and businesses seeking payment are all operating on their own timelines. They aren't waiting for court decisions years into the future. Despite all of this, Mayweather continues projecting confidence. His social media remains filled with images of luxury vacations, expensive shopping trips, designer clothing, exotic vehicles, private aircraft, and large amounts of cash. His legal team has repeatedly stated that he is not experiencing financial hardship. Yet public court records continue to tell a far more complicated story. So, the biggest question remains: is Floyd Mayweather actually broke? Based on publicly available records, there is no definitive evidence proving that he is. However, the public record does show something else. It shows one of the highest paid athletes in